going to talk about certifications. We are going to talk about life coaches. We are going to talk about internet life coaches that push false narratives. And we're going to talk about life coaches that actually have receipts. I know that I have an echo. I apologize. I know that my screen is blurry, but everybody hit the likes. Make sure you guys subscribe. So first of all, let's shout out, right? We got a superstar guest on here. I couldn't even believe he said, yeah. He's been on MTV. He's a TV personality. He's a certified relationship and communications coach. Are you a doctor by any
I'm
chance?
not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, okay, no, because no, well, if you've ever had a Dr. Pepper or anything, you can be qualified as a doctor. So I just want to be sure before we get into this tonight so you are not a doctor.
I am not a doctor.
Okay, cool. So, like I said, man, this is Coach Ken, certified relationship and communications coach, TV personality. Got a dope new series on Tubi called Decisions. What was the show on MTV? I know it's not Cheaters. I watch it.
It's called Unfaithful Caught in the Act.
Unfaithful, caught in the act, man. Make sure y'all tap in with the brother, man. The brother's extremely good at what he does, man. I'm a fan. I love his work. He's up here tonight, man. I'm blessed to share the stage with this brother here tonight. I'm supposed to be getting the script. Let me shut up. I ain't even gonna talk about it. I'm ready.
I'm working on your behalf. Believe me. Believe me when
All
I
right.
say I'm working on your behalf.
And let me send this to you, Ham, so you can pull him up as well, so we can let the people know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's world renowned, but we just want to let the people know just where they can find everything, where you can find everything that I just mentioned about the good brother. This is actually his show right here. We got a star-studded show today. There were a lot of people that feel away because I canceled my show in St. Louis, right? And I just want to be crystal clear with this today. This is not a bashing session, but
Right.
this is a truthful session. And I got 3 black men up here, and there will be some ladies to come up here as well. But we gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this today, man. I want you guys to hit the likes, turn it up, go follow Coach Ken. Make sure y'all follow DJ Hamp. Every single person that is on my Instagram, come over to the YouTube channel, and we gonna get smack into it. So everybody asked me, Truth, why? Why did you cancel the show in St. Louis? And it's really simple. I've never came on this internet claiming to be anything other than me, right? And the reason why I did that is because I did not want people to like me by default, right? I felt like I always wanted to give people a fair chance to say right, wrong, or indifferent. I like him or I don't like him, right? So I laid all of my cards on the table, Coach Ken, DJ Hamp. So a lot of people feel like I'm walking away from the show because she lied about being a doctor. That is not why I walked away from the show, right? I literally had people say, well, you should have got on stage and questioned her. And I said, this is what you have to understand. Why would I engage in an open conversation with a known liar? If it doesn't even make sense. But I want to know how you feel, Coach Ken. And I know that, and if you don't know who we're talking about, we'll put a name on it. We are talking about Dr. Bryant, and the jig has been exposed today. And I just want to know how you feel about it, brother.
So I'm glad you asked. I normally don't get involved in a lot of that. I don't talk about other creators. But I will say this much. She and I had a back and forth on a platform. I was on tonight's conversation, and it struck me. And you and I don't know if you and I have never talked about it, but it went viral. And what happened was she was saying things in a sensational way. I'll be honest with you. And she was saying things in a detrimental way to one of the people that asked the question. I didn't like it. And so we got into a back and forth. And what struck me the most was the arrogant nature of the way she was presenting the information. Now, the information she was saying was her opinion. I get that. But in this business, if you know you follow me, the one thing I do, and the one thing I like about you is you tell the truth on both sides. You even handed, and in being even handed. But what I noticed is that number one, she wasn't even handed. And number two, I noticed that she was sensational in what she was saying. And so we had our back and forth, let it go after that. My thing is simply this is that I got into a back and forth with somebody today, and they said, why do we hold her to a higher standard than we hold a Dr. Phil or somebody like that? And here's what I said. As a person of color, we ought to hold ourselves to a higher standard, because the truth of the matter is we have greatness in us, but we need the integrity to go with that greatness. The integrity without the greatness reduces our credibility. And so that's the thing about me. I built my platform. I've been on all these shows, doing all this stuff because of one thing. The same way you've done it, Truth, is because of authenticity and integrity. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. But the truth of the matter is, I'm going to be truthful regardless. And so that my take is she lost it with me. I don't agree with everything she said, and some of the things she said was true. I agree with that. But the problem is when your integrity matters. And I was going back and forth with somebody, and somebody asked me this one question: why is it that integrity matters? Why does it matter? And I simply said this. I said, if I don't have integrity, your subconscious programming will not allow you to listen to me. That's why.
Wow. So I just want to chime in, right? And we have a doctor on here, Dr. Kelly. Are you a doctor, brother? I don't want to, hold up. Hold up. Oh, my fault. Because no,
I'm coming real tonight, Phil.
Now, if I was to look that up online, would it mysteriously, the college burned down, or is it?
I got the transcripts behind me too. My college is legit.
Because this is the thing, right? Hey, brother, this is the Nothing But the Truth podcast, so we just want to keep it all the way 100. So yeah, this is my guy, the site Kelly, who actually has his doctorate and all of that, certified. And this is the thing, right? My issue with it was this, once again. I think that she definitely has a gift to gab. I think that she's definitely well spoken. I think that her aesthetic has opened up doors for her that it probably wouldn't have opened for a lot of women because of the way that she looks, the way that she talks. She's a hustler, not denying any of that, right? I think that my issue is, though, right? She was the spokesperson for Black, educated, single, and hear me roar, right? And I think that you see my post where I said she was able to have such a strong hold on these African American women that feel like their accolades and their accomplishments is what makes them a catch. So even if you're 50 years old and you're extremely opinionated and you're extremely loudmouth and you're extremely single, that there's a major lane or a major window of opportunity. And I said, it's just crazy to me, right? Outside of you not having the certification of you being a doctor, where is your man? And that was always my issue. If you are stunningly beautiful, you're a freak as you portray on these shows. I do it all. I lick it all. You're a freak. You're educated. You're gorgeous. You're well spoken. You're submissive. Why is nobody subscribing to what it is or who it is that you say you are? But go ahead, Kelly. I see it's something on your mind.
Man, what's the deal? Look, bottom line is that she's a fraud. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? The reason why she can't get a man, the reason why she can't enter into a relationship, and to me, the reason why nobody wants her is because everything that she produces is probably inauthentic. With the exception of her physical appearance, we can't deny the fact that she's beautiful, but other than that, she's a liar. And that's just what it is. I think that America or her population of individuals is upset realistically because they got caught up on the damn she's fine scam. Let's just call it what it is. Damn, she's fine, so she's a doctor, and we don't have to validate anything until we start posing the questions to realize, wait a minute, you call yourself a doctor, not just a coach. Where's your actual credentials? Now all of a sudden you're pissed off because she doesn't have them, but you validated it simply behind some bullshit that she was saying online. That's your bad.
If you guys don't mind, I want to play a clip, right? And when we play this clip, I want everybody to give me their take. Can we get one of those clips up there, Hamp? And I want to know you guys' take on this, man. Let me see. Okay, this is a great one here. Let me go ahead and throw this one up here.
Earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
that's
with the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been.
I'm going to stop that for a second, then we're going to bring that back. So now she just name dropped 4 brothers. She just threw 4 African-American men under the bus. And I'm not even going to repeat the brother's name because I don't want to drag them into the nonsense. She just literally said that it is my obligation to God, not my obligation to the people, that I'm scamming out of their money by claiming to be a doctor. I'm not going to give my take. I want to start with Coach Kim. What is your take on that? Please, I would love to hear it.
First of all, I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start here. Number one, every one of the brothers she mentioned, I'm going to start with them. Neither one of them thought they were in a therapy session. Every one of them thought it was an interview where I was interviewing and we were exchanging ideas. So it was disingenuous to frame it that way. Now, when she did that, what they did was, let's go back to the pretty privilege. What they did was platform her because every one of them brothers we know, all men, but they probably liked the way she looked, like it was good for them too. But they never thought that she was in a therapy session. So that was number one, disingenuous. Number two, classic deflection. When I don't want to answer the question, I'm not responsible. I'm not accountable to everybody else. I'm accountable to God. Well, the reason why she says that is because God's not going to come down and say, provide me with the paperwork. People will, right? And so I can deflect in that way. And now let me just keep you honest, and I'm going to give this mic away. What happened was she went on a grifting tour with her book, right? She'd been grifting for a minute. And things turned on her because somebody finally, because Corey Holcomb said it a long time ago, but because Corey was saying stuff, people discounted or dismissed it. But now she's got an answer for it, and she doesn't have an answer for it. And then when y'all know this, whenever somebody catch you in something, what's the first thing we do? We go to anger, because we hope anger will deflect. What did she say? I don't really give a fuck. It's about my people. And so she's simply trying to deflect from the real issue, y'all. That's just my take on it.
Why? I think one of the biggest issues is that she's trying to double down on the lie, right? Instead of being the life coach that she claims to be, right? Because an adult would say, you know what? Y'all caught me, y'all. Y'all caught me, y'all. I'm dead wrong. I am not a doctor, but I am extremely effective and I am good at what I do. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I don't think that the world would have been receptive to me just coming into it as Cheyenne. So I threw the doctor out there because I faked it till I made it. But I'm here now. I love y'all. I'm imperfect just like y'all. She couldn't do that because that would take a level of accountability. That would take a level of being having integrity. That would also mean that she would have to have a major strike to her ego, because without that doctor, right, she wouldn't have been let into a lot of rooms. And I don't know if you've seen my post, but I was saying I'm disappointed in her, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like she did so many black women a major disservice. You sent these women back out in society with this false hope and this false information and this false psychoanalyst. And now this is why these women are single like you. They didn't bought your books. They didn't bought into who you are and what they are. They thought that you were a safe space. And it just breaks my heart. But go ahead. I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm going to give the mic away as well.
I think what you're saying is,
Go ahead.
Doc. Yeah, salute, by the way. Good to see you. Yeah, it's interesting though. Even as it pertains to the Most High, there is a commandment that says, "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor either." Right.
Right.
So the irony is there, right, and it's deafening. You know what she did and how the Most High would not support this either, and she's not being accountable to Him if she's willing to do her people like this. My wife has a doctorate, and I know how arduous the process is.
Yes.
You literally can't get to the point to defend it without going through hell, right? There's so many people that go through that process, as Dr. Kelly knows, that literally vet you before you even get on that podium or to that stage, right? Because that's how crucial it is and important it is. My wife's doctorate is in education. And when I was watching all this stuff, right, when Truth canceled, it just perked my ears up. I put my wife's name, Shawnice, and I put dissertation, Drexel. You can't hide it.
Right.
You know, and it did a disservice to the people that worked their asses off to get that. It reminds me of Jake Paul coming into boxing and just jumping all the boxers who've been killing themselves in the gym.
Right.
You know, so that's my take on it. It's a shame, honestly.
So here, and I appreciate that, Ham. You actually said something, right? And I want to kind of piggyback off that. The Bible says, because she quoted scripture. Another scripture is obey the law of the land. That's found in the scripture. And so what's interesting is when you put that doctor title on your name and you're not Dr. Dre or Dr. Pepper, what happens is that you join the body of academia, which means you are required to produce your credentials when questioned about those credentials. Mm-hmm. That's just the way that it works. Mm-hmm. Listen, so officially I become Dr. Kelly June 25th. So I appreciate y'all for the title. It sounds real good, but it'll be official on June 25th. Appreciate y'all. When I defended my dissertation, every person that asks us a question, I have to provide an answer to. I can't look at them and say, well, I'm only obligated to the Lord. Not if I want to carry that title doctor. Now, if you come in as Cheyenne the coach, sure, you can be obligated to whoever you want to be. But when you put that title doctor on you, then that means that you have to produce the credentials that we're asking for. You don't go to the medical doctor and say, hey, before you prescribe, I want to see your credentials. And then they turn around and say, well, I'm going to give you what I feel like you need, but I'm only obligated to Jesus. What?
Ridiculous.
I want to deliver your baby, but don't trip. I'm only obligated to the Lord. What are you talking about?
And Doc Kelly, hey, and it's crazy, right? You said, right, obey the law of the land. Jesus said that out of his own mouth, right? My bad, coach. I just had to say that part.
No, I just want to say one thing, guys. There's a term for this. And when I'm on the TV show Unfaithful, my job is to analyze behaviors that I see. And there is a term called intentional ambiguity. And what it is, it's deliberately avoiding clarity to maintain control and to keep your options open. So she's intentionally ambiguous. And so that's why she said, well, if I create enough muddle, like, well, they lost it in 2 months. I went back to them. I was applying for a law coaching session, whatever. I'm intentionally being ambiguous so that it keeps my options open and I can avoid clarity. So the people who aren't looking for it, they're going to just keep following blindly. And that's what she's doing right now. And then and when somebody says she's doubling down on it, and that's what she's actually doing so that we can keep this ambiguity going.
And it's so crazy, right? And I was telling a friend of mine, off camera, he was like, why won't you just do it? And I said, you have to understand, right? I am petrified to stand next to somebody that's willing to damn near let somebody die in order to stick to their lie. Like, this is somebody that has been caught red-handed. You've been caught and you still refuse. Like, that is literally like getting caught with the weapon at the murder scene with the murder weapon and saying, I did not do it. And not only did I not do it, God watched me not. And so when she said that it was her obligation to God, I was looking for thunder. I'm like, he's about to strike her dead. I know that he's not. When I tell you, I couldn't believe it. We actually have another clip. And if you guys get over here to the YouTube channel, can we get that clip, Hamp? Man, this shit is crazy to me. I'm scared of her. I'm scared to ever be in a room with any woman like that. That is treacherous. But let's get to this clip.
Your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
Mm-hmm.
How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't
Run that shit? Hold on. Let me take my doctor glasses off for a second. Did she hold on. What happened to the classy, sophisticated woman with poise? I would like for them to run that shit. Is this what we're? Never mind. See, when I do it, I'm a convict. I never lied about that. I done been to prison. I was the bad. But this woman is the upper echelon of woman. Black, successful, educated, with poise, top 10. Let me play that again. One more second, Hamp. Let me just one more time, Hamp. I'm sorry.
You want me run
I
it back
hear
or
this
keep going?
ratchetness. Please,
my folks,
no, please.
my village,
I gotta hear this.
it's very
ratchetness.
simple. I went to a school, Argos University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Well, I contact the third party. That third party only holds records for 2 years.
Wow.
I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one.
So I got my doctorate from Hogwarts, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
I've been in school 10 plus years. I've never in my life heard of the federal government of financial aid getting ready to give you a refund. Never in my life has financial aid ever said, because this didn't work out for you, let me refund you 100 bands. A doctoral degree by itself costs $100,000+. The federal government, Trump won't even give them food stamps down in the ghetto. So he for sure not going to give you $100,000 back. One more thing that I want to add. There's a psychological concept called survival aggression. And it basically says that when a person is trapped in their environment, they will become overly aggressive because they can no longer survive. And that's what you see Cheyenne. I'm not even going to call her Dr. Bryant because that's unofficial. That's what you see Cheyenne doing. When Cheyenne starts cussing and saying she don't give a F and run it, what she's basically telling you is, I can no longer survive on this lie, so I'm getting ready to perform now. Now she hood again.
Yeah.
I guess she a gangster. She can claim whatever hood she want to claim now because you can live with a doctorate for 8 months, then surely you could be a Crip somewhere.
Hey, Dr. Kelly, you know what she needed in that room? Because we had this before. You ever see somebody get mad because they got caught out, and then she needed somebody in that room to say, "Nobody give a fuck if you get mad," right?
Facts.
Because that's what she needed in that room, but it didn't exist. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think the host wanted to, but she had to maintain her decorum.
Yeah.
Because if you see when she reached her hand out, the host was like, "So you gonna keep doing it?"
Well, if we go back to that original clip that Hamp has, the thing that I appreciate about the interviewer is she would not let up. And how Coach Ken said when she was on these platforms with these men, because there was maybe a tad bit of lust in the room, they weren't able to really stick to her guns. Just like when she got in front of Paul Pierce, because he was not impressed by her, he was the first one to really peel the layer back because he was like, well, hold up. That sounds like pure nonsense to me. But because for once, when she was in front of that lady, she like, I'm not wooed by your pretty privilege. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this because I owe my audience, right? I owe my audience an explanation. Can we get that? There, hold on, we got the clip, and then we'll watch this and watch this though. She didn't let her live. Play that
No
clip for
one
us,
knew
brother.
who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated it myself. They deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I'll land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people say that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah,
right.
because I earned it. Absolutely.
Hey, Doc Kelly. I wrote the term down you said, survival aggression.
Yeah.
And the reason why, because I'm a big study person. I want to study it. And I noticed what you're saying. Every part where somebody's coming at her, she's becoming aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
Because the lie is diminishing right before our face. And I'm watching it, and almost every interview, because she said, well, we came here for my book, and I'm going to just leave it at that.
I'm going to leave it at that on your show. I'm going to tell you what you can and cannot ask me because I'm tired of lying.
Right. And everything has become this aggressive. And if you know, and the truth is, if y'all notice, even for her getting this notoriety came as a result of she had this brand from successful women that she had an edge about her. She was willing to speak truth to powerful men, Shannon, Cam, all of these men. And many women like that, even though, and I don't want to get into
We never deemed them, though, Coach. We never deemed them as being powerful men. So that's a whole nother.
Well, hold on, True. Here's why. Because you have all these creators out here. We never did it, but you got all these creators out here saying if a man doesn't have blank financially, or we associate. Remember what happened even with Kevin Samuels, a high value man was associated not with his character, but with his pockets. And so now she's on a platform with quote unquote high value men who have millions of dollars, many of them. And so she's speaking to them in a way that is masculine, direct, aggressive. And so many people could relate, many women could relate to that. Well, I'm not saying that is right or wrong, because, but that's what, because she was successful, she was very good looking, she was able to speak to that power in the man and say, look, we're on equal footing. That's why they resonated with it.
You know what you just described, though, Coach?
What's that?
You just described a narcissist. That's one of the female's favorite words, and that's what she is. And that little blue book right here gives me the authority to diagnose her with it. She's a narcissist, and she has multiple personality syndrome. She has literally developed a character that no one believes except her, and she's selling it to us. And the more that we challenge it, the more she believes that it actually exists. That is a narcissist with multiple personality syndrome. She needs medication.
Wow.
And there's no way around it. She needs medication. Because the fact that we keep telling you don't have a doctorate and you keep telling us that you have multiple degrees that you earned, you believe that image. They lock people up in psychiatric wards for that, but instead we're inviting her to the TV shows. I don't get it. Lock her up, prescribe her the medication, remind her of her true identity, and let's move the hell on, man.
But this is the thing, though. What personality is her true identity? Is Cheyenne a real person? At this point, you got to think, if you go this deep into putting doctor, is your name really Cheyenne at this point? I don't know what to believe.
You probably don't even have a birth certificate, true.
Do you really they've definitely lost their birth certificate. If they lost the doctorate, they definitely, listen, I think it would be easier to find the birth certificate than the doctor. You're right. But do you even like men? And so I wanted to get into this, right? I'm in a relationship. I know that Hamp's in a relationship. I know that, I take that back. I was very disrespectful. I'm married. I know that Hamp is married. I know that Mr. Kelly is married. Coach, are you in a relationship, married?
Married 25 years to the same woman.
Okay, so I'm going somewhere with this, right? Watch how I land this, right? One thing that grinds my gears more than probably anything else on this Beyonce or white man's internet is, why are we taking relationship advice from people that do not have a relationship? And I'm just going to throw this out there and then y'all can land the plane. For the male relationship coaches, and I won't name drop, but I'll never work with them, right? You have all of the game. You have all of this knowledge, but no woman is subscribing to this. So this would tell me two things. Either this is a money grab or you are a plant sent here, right? Because I think that these men that do this, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I think they actually play for the same team, but they are sent here to cause division. I don't even think they like women. And the same thing for these women life coaches, right? You're beautiful. You push being single and hoorah and be powerful and hear me roar with no man in sight. I think that they have their liquor license and they are here to push, because you got to understand, without division, they don't have clients. If they don't keep homes broken up, they don't have clients. Why? Because the main thing that Coach Ken said was authenticity. I've counseled so many people. Business is booming, and I got hats in my background, not a certificate anywhere in sight, because when people see me, when they speak to me, they feel me. They feel me. So I'm not even a person up here saying, well, I would require for you to be certified this, certified that. Life certified me. My only discrepancy is, when you say life coach, I think that life has to certify you. She came in doctor. She was very specific. I'm a doctor. I won't be a life coach. I won't be a life specialist. I won't be a trauma coach. I am Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and I will not drop the doctor. My plane has landed.
Yeah. No.
Well, go ahead. I ain't gonna say that.
I think there's certainly credence to it. You know, even like when they try to say, well, Bill Belichick never played football, right? He's thoroughly immersed in it, right? He's around prominent people who are doctorates in football, right? I would argue NFL players are the top of the cream of the crop, the upper echelon, right? They've earned that their entire lives. He's immersed in that culture around those men with that experience so he can absorb it. You come out of left field not being married and advising people on how to get married, but you're not immersed. You're not around those people to even absorb any of that information, you know? And like you said, it's disjointed. And I think Coach Ken, that resonated with me when you said ambiguous information can sound cool. It sound cute to a dummy, right? Who's enamored by how you look or what you're saying. But they really don't understand it. They just nodding because everybody else nodding. So I agree with you, Truth. You got to have that experience.
But you've never heard him be called quarterback Belichick, though. He's never jumped out there and said, I'm QB Belichick. He's never, I'm just saying. He never said that. I'm
Yeah.
quarterback Belichick. He's never
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
But go ahead. My
Definitely
fault.
never said that. Did I?
That's true. That's
But he literally believes her lie, though, huh? So that's why, you know what I
right.
mean?
Oh,
That's why there's going to be a difficulty with authenticity because somebody made her believe that she's an expert. An expert of what? I don't know how the hell you become an expert in psychology without a psychology degree.
yeah.
But somebody told her she's an expert and she believes it and she promotes it. So how can we then, you see what I'm saying? So how can we then convince her otherwise? That's a person that needs to be locked up.
Damn, that is a great.
Yeah. So the only thing my only beef is this right here. Truth, you did a video that really resonated with me. What you said was, I don't care about credentials. I don't care about all of that. And I can't verbatim say what you said, but what you were talking about was you've done a couple of videos that I've watched. One, you were like, the whole idea of a person who's a relationship coach but not in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and I often tell people, you said the credentials don't matter, but the results matter. They were like results.
Absolutely.
Like you don't say, I'm a doctor. You say, I've been to prison. I am a life coach who helps people in relationships. You have identified who you are, what you do, and the value you bring to someone's life. That's what you
Absolutely.
did. And the other person can decide, based on what you've told me in integrity, do I want to work with you?
Absolutely.
Do I want
Absolutely.
to take your advice? Because you were clear about that. And that's the same thing about me. I tell people this. I say, listen, I always tell people say, are you a therapist? I said, no, I'm a certified coach. I said, I use therapeutic techniques. I said, but the thing is, but here's what I do have. Just like I said, I've saved 307 marriages. I've restored 3, and I can document each one of them. And through 307 marriages, I've put over 1,000 people together in relationships. I don't say it all the time. People come to me, I can show that. You can call 100 of my clients right now. And the truth is, everything that I say, the reason why I'm very careful is because, y'all, there are people whose lives depend on our words, who rest, whose literal life and death ride on the words of what these people are saying. When I text you the other night, Truth, the other day, when I said there are so many people being led astray because they're believing in this stuff. But it's antithetical to the goals that they have. Let me give you one quick point. There are people out there who want a loving relationship, monogamous relationship. They say, I want that. But yet they're listening to people like Shira 7, who is talking about transactional relationship. You got to get a man to pay for all of this. Or those two thoughts, energies cannot coexist in the same space. So you will never have a healthy, happy relationship listening to that kind of advice. They cannot exist.
That's a fact.
You said something that was amazing, man. You said people are being led astray. Cheyenne literally said that a man with kids who takes care of his children, handles his household, but for whatever reason did not work out with the woman that he produced children by, got in a different relationship. He is now in a polyamorous relationship. Polyamorous relationship. Do you all agree with that or disagree?
Disagree vehemently.
Mm-hmm. Right. What about you?
I'm gonna just be quiet.
I'm asking because she's an expert. That's what she told people. But somebody is going to pass up on their knight in shining armor, their good man that has children with a 9-to-5 or maybe a business or whatever it is that he's doing, has his house in order. They're going to bypass that relationship because they listen to this fraud tell them that they're in a polyamorous relationship if they have outside of their marriage.
Doc, see, that's what I'm talking about. Advice like that is antithetical to you getting the type of relationship you want. And there are people who are hanging on every word because they're looking at this image that is a lie. And that's why integrity matters. That's why.
And this is why I hate, and I was telling DJ Hamp this the other day, and he said, why did you stop doing podcasts with women? I said, because this is the thing that you'll learn about doing podcasts with women. Most women, not all, most women are on a podcast speaking to their future sucker or the man that they want to believe that they live this life and that they are getting these things provided for them. So when they talk, right? Oh, I wouldn't dare date a man under $192,000 a year, and he has to come into. They are talking, hoping that a sucker is listening with his big ear on, like, ooh, that's what she want. That's what it takes to get her. And this is why I don't even have these interviews with these women, because they are master manipulators at moving the goalpost. And so when you get into these conversations with these women, they'll say, oh, Truth Hurts is bashing women. That's the furthest thing that I do. What it is I'm going to hold you accountable. And this is what I've learned about this business. Women do not know how to deal with that do not know how to deal with men that expect for them to be more than a woman. And when I say more than a woman, when you sit in front of me, you can't just be pretty. That's it. Are you smart? Are you polite? Are you feminine? Are you nurturing, right? Because this is my thing. Men act like men around women, and I live by this. If you ever feel like men are disrespectful or treating you a certain way, it could be a knock to his masculinity, but I also feel like it's a knock to your femininity as well. Because when I'm around a woman, right, whether it's my woman or not, I want to stand up straighter. I want to open door. I just want to overly pour into that woman because she's a lady. And when she gives off that energy, that aura of being a lady, it brings out the best man in me.
Yeah.
I sent you something here. I want to know what Coach Ken think about this. While we got him here, I gotta know. I gotta know. And if you don't want to speak on it, but I'm just curious how you feel about this guy. Hold on. This dude is the biggest. Oh man. Oh yeah. This dude here, boy. Piece of work. Let me give you some of this. Go ahead and play some of that.
He wants you. Make him pay $50,000. And if he can't afford $50,000 up front, set up a payment plan. If he says, hello, what's your name? $50,000. Hey, can you cook me some food? $50,000. Hey, I got problems going on. $50,000. You're not playing wife to no man that cannot show you that he has husband characteristics. He must be a provider. He must be a leader, and he must be able to sacrifice for you. Because what a man invests in, a man appreciates. If this man can buy that old car outside for $60,000 with high mileage that keeps falling apart, he can pay $50,000 for you. If not, find a man that meets your qualifications. And if this man says, oh, you asking for too much, he's a man that has not reached his full potential. And $50,000 is a low number. But ladies, listen, he still has to take care of you from head to toe and pay every single bill, because your money is your money and his money.
Can you give me a couple of minutes? No, I'm just, it's your show, and I honor you, I respect you, and all you gentlemen.
Please.
I just would you just give me a couple of minutes? Just a couple. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story, but I'm going to give you something that is fundamentally wrong with what he's saying. What he's saying means a man's value is simply tied to his financial picture, his financial capability, right? The problem with that is, what if a man who was providing, what if he gets sick? What if that man can no longer work? What if something happens to him and so he can't make the money that he once made? Is his value diminished because he got sick? Is his value diminished because he got laid off from work? Because what he's suggesting is that your value as a man is tied to your financial capability. And so I want to give this quick question. Here's why I say that. Because a few years ago, well, actually 19 years ago, I was working and I was going out speaking, and I was getting $5,000. I was doing training a day. And I weighed 430 pounds. And I remember I applied, and my blood pressure was high, blood sugar was high. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, if you keep going at the rate that you're going, you will probably be dead in 5 years. And I was married to the woman that I'm married to today. And so what I said was, I remember I cried all the way from the doctor and I said, I got to do something different because insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So I applied to be on a reality show. I don't know if you guys remember the reality show called The Biggest Loser. Okay.
Yeah.
On NBC. Well, I applied to be on that show and I got on the show. And I got on the show. Well, the show, you have to work out twice a day. You're on the show, and I could not work. I didn't work for 10 months. And my wife came to me, and my wife said, I got this. My wife worked 2 jobs. And I'll never forget the day I was sitting at my desk, and my wife had got home from work. She brought her check, laid it on the desk in cash, and walked away. And I cried like a baby. And I never forget it. And I never forget I said, what kind of man am I? But then I realized relationships are about partnership. And about partnership. My wife don't have to work. She works for my company now. She don't have to work. But the reality is that she believed in our partnership enough to say, I'll carry the load for a year. Now, if she had subscribed to this gentleman's thought process, she'd been like, I'm gone. Because, or you can't get your health in order. And since then, I've lost 170 pounds, kept it off. And I tell people, we still partners like that today. But now we live in a society that is so transactional. If you don't give me this, I won't give you that. And that's why we cannot have the kind of relationships that work, that are healthy, that are happy. And so that's all I want to say.
So my discrepancy with Yada, and let me say this, right? I think that he is entertaining. I think that he is funny. I think that he has a Napoleon complex. I think that he has to compensate for being 5'1". But I will also say this. When I first stumbled across his content, I said, this little man has lost his freaking mind. Now that I'm at where I'm at with my platform, I said, this man's a freaking genius. And I'm going to tell you why, right? He's a freaking genius. Listen, I respect, see, and you in the field that I'm in, I respect it. I just can't do it because I care about people too much, right? And so I would rather take the loss in finances and go to sleep peacefully at night than knowing that I am getting on this internet, right? Because we have a responsibility. When you have 300,000 followers, like you have a responsibility. And I was one of those guys who would get up here like, well, if they want to listen, they can. And then I had to realize like, whoa, I'm in front of 50 million people a month. So I'm thinking, that I can be irresponsible and reckless with this thing here. But now I'm seeing people. I had a lady faint at my last show. And I'm like, what? It scared me because I'm like, we have influence. And when you have influence, it's powerful. And so I'm talking about how this brother, and no disrespect to the hustle, but the level of delusion that you are feeding to these women to make these women think, first of all, I don't know any man that think that $50,000 is just a light day, right? And I don't care at what level of finances that you're in, because even if you have $100 million saved, we budget on every level. I don't care how much money you have. And I'm not even going to get into finances because that's a whole nother. But anyway, what I'm saying that to say, he is doing women so much of a disservice because they believe this fairy tale. They believe that no matter how disrespectful they are, no matter how much weight they gain, no matter how many baby fathers they have, no matter how much they are not willing to submit, that all you have to do is be born a black woman. And that is all that is expected of you. And a man is supposed to give you $250,000 per baby. That a man is. Don't make me pull it up, Coach. Coach, don't make me pull this footage up.
No, I've heard it. I've heard it. I've seen it. And dude, that's why I resonate with you. It's because you're gonna tell the truth from your perspective. You and I, and let's talk something. I'm in a business. You're in a business where
Absolutely.
we could take advantage of people. And I'm just going to be honest with you. We could. Doc, you're in a business, and I don't know about him, but we're in the business where you can take advantage of people. But this is the part I got to answer to God. I got to answer. I am responsible for taking his daughters and sons and misleading them. I am responsible for them, and I will pay for that. And that's why I tell people the shit I say, you can bank it, because number one, I have been a man of dishonor. I am a man of honor now. I know what it feels like to be with one woman. I don't cheat on my wife. I've never cheated on my wife. And before we got married, I was a cheater. But since we got married, I have not cheated once. And I can say it, and I ain't worried about another woman coming saying I did, because I told God there is something bigger than me. There is something bigger than me, and I am responsible for the people. That's why y'all don't hear me talking about people who follow my content. That's why my platform could be bigger if I rage baited everybody. I could be bigger. But the truth of the matter is, I'm responsible for these people's lives, y'all. And whenever you take it from that perspective, I can't come out here willy-nilly and just start saying stuff. I refuse to, because we don't know, y'all, who's going to take what we say and they walk out that door, and that will be the last time we hear from them because of something I said. I'm very careful about that.
Nah, for sure. Somebody just said, Truth, you changed my life. I've been watching your videos, man. You gave me my glow back. Ham, did you get those other videos I sent you? Because I'm not going to keep Coach Ken all night, but I got this one last life coach.
I'm just glad you asked me to come on. And
stop.
I'm working on you. I got you.
I need that.
I got you.
Bro, all right, my man. I'm going to hold you to that.
Send it again, Truth. I only got the
check from my other page, my podcast page. Because this life coach, wow, this one, I'm gonna be quiet. I just want to know how y'all feel. And you being a doctor, you being a coach, DJ Hamp, you being the man that you are, I know what type of man he is in his marriage. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think of this life coach. You didn't get none of them?
No, I got it. No, you sent it to the This Might Be Risky, right?
I sent it to your regular page, not This Might Be Risky.
Okay.
Because this life coach here, she is
the red hair?
Man. Huh? Yes, sir. Play the second video, not the first one.
All right, hold
not
on.
That one. No, the second one.
All right.
Play the one I sent after that, please. Right. It's imperative that we get this, because this is the women that are leading our women. These are the women that wow, I would be devastated. My wife would never, but I would be devastated if I came home and I felt, here we go. Let me know when you're ready, brother.
Let's do it.
Man, check this life coach out here. Turn that up, please.
Told me that when he was little, his mama used to neglect him for a few days at a time to go be with her nigga. I had said, bingo. It's your favorite homegirl, Coach Trainer. I've been coaching women into provision, healed places, and feminine places for quite some time. And I keep telling y'all to subscribe to Chinatown so I can help y'all use the trauma that these niggas got to your advantage, sis. Now listen, sis. I know you used to hearing stories like that from these niggas, and you automatically go into trying to love them past whatever neglect they mama gave them, okay? What the nigga learned early on from his mama was that he was not a priority. So when niggas learn early they're not a priority, sis, why do you come in making him a priority? Because that's where you go wrong at every time. Now, what this nigga learned how to do was chase validation, chase that he mattered, and chase consistency. And so that's why he go to weak women, ones who will make him a priority, because he know that that's what he was missing in his childhood. Now, where you went wrong, sis, is you was trying to prove that he was worthy, and you was trying to prove that he mattered. And what you should have been doing was taking cues from his mama and treating him the same way. Disappearing on that nigga for days at a time and let him try to figure out what you got going on. Because niggas love mysteries. They hate women who they can figure out, who routines stay the same. They like a woman out there who they don't know what she got going on. And when she come back, they got a lot of questions, but she don't got a lot of answers. Sis, y'all be losing because y'all stay telling the truth. Learn how to lie. So, sis, the trauma at play here is neglect. The nigga learned early on he wasn't a.
I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna mute myself because I can't contain myself.
A couple of problems with this video right here. Number one, is she steaming her hair in the sink while she's giving us relationship advice? That's my first problem. She can't even afford to go to the hair salon. Why are we listening to this person about relationship advice? That's the first thing. Number two, on a serious note, she's never experienced a real man. She told you what kind of man she's experienced because she said it at least 8 times. She's used to dating niggas. She said niggas do this, niggas do that, let that nigga do this, and you need to tell that nigga this. So I don't even think, I'm really surprised she got that many followers, but I don't even think that she qualifies to be in the conversation of authentic relationships because clearly she does not rise to the vocabulary level that is going to be expected by a real man. She's not been in a real relationship. She's used to niggas and hoes. That's what she's telling you.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that she has that many followers and that many likes on that video, right? That's discouraging when you think about how many people actually listened to that message and then resonated with it enough to like it and perpetuate or try to, right? She's literally saying preying on people, you know, and keep them where they at when people didn't like that in the first place. They didn't want to be there in the first place, and they didn't have a choice as a child if they were being treated like that. So just imagine playing on that. Somebody's PTSD or the things that they went through, right? We got to be better than that. That might be one of the most disgusting clips I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen 2 girls, 1 cup before.
I did too.
Crazy.
And she said something else. I didn't even mention it, but Ham, you just hit it, man, when you said what you just said. Trauma is by definition a distressing or life-threatening event. You just told however many thousands of people to utilize a distressing or life-threatening event of a man to your right? Yeah. That's dangerous because we can't control that man's or nigga, depending on who she's looking for. You can't control that response. So if you go in and utilize a traumatic experience for him and he responds violently, right? Then the first thing that you'll say is that he's an abuser, when in fact you manipulated him.
Ooh. That is so powerful what you just said. That is so, I need people to hear what he just said. What he just said was that using somebody's trauma for your benefit can and will backfire.
Every time. Every time, coach. Every time.
That every time. And so, well, let me say this to y'all. What she's doing, I'm not surprised. She's much like Yara. They're speaking to a segmented audience who have cognitive biases already. Okay? Everybody that listens to her, because you guys said I'm surprised that she's got followers. I'm not. Because what she's doing is she's speaking to the people who already have a bias against Black men. And so just like Shira 7 is speaking to those men, just like Yara is speaking to the segmented population of people who already have a cognitive bias, and what they're doing is simply confirming what they already believe. And they say, yeah, go ahead, I believe that too. Use the nigga trauma against him. Yeah, I believe that too. I should get 100,000 a kid. Yeah, I believe. And so what you got to understand, y'all, is once people realize the biases that I've tapped into something, you ever notice how they keep going down that road? They do more and more videos like that. And what the algorithm says, it's going to show it to more and more people who have that cognitive bias. And so that is the reason why I tell my team, we've been blessed, y'all, but I don't have to do it that way because I don't believe in doing this. I tell my team, I could have more followers. If I look at my total platform, I might have 1.5 million followers with everybody, all right? It ain't as many as some people. But you know what I told my people? I would rather be responsible with these people's psychology with these people's hearts, with these people's feelings, with their futures. I would rather be responsible and not grift, y'all, because y'all don't know how many people are living in isolation and they are hurting, and they listen to something like that. All it does is magnify the pain. It magnifies the trauma, and that's got to have an end ramp. It's got to come off somewhere. And that where might be they decide that I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be responsible for that.
When this woman said, let me interject, I was patient. She is one of the most disgusting. Right? Let me like, right? She is not only, and y'all can get mad at me, my name Truth Hurt. She is not only visually disadvantaged, but she is literally the definition of ugly inside and out. The fact that you claim to be a life coach, but you are telling, right? Because you're a relationship and a life coach. And when we're life coaches, there are two sides of life. There are men and women. For you to tell women, use his trauma against him, you treat that and I hate the N word, but you treat that fuck nigga like his mother did. His mother abandoned him. So you use the trauma that his mother did to him in order for you to gain leverage on a man. Her content, bro, is some of the most distasteful shit. One day I went down a rabbit hole because I couldn't believe it. And I'm talking about it's video after video after video. And I'll play one more. And then I'll give you, I'm going to play this. This broad is, and listen,
her hair was in the
200,000 followers. 200,000 followers. Watch this shit. This broad.
That's how y'all catching feelings for him, sis. This ain't no time spending that shit. That's how these niggas getting y'all wrapped around their fingers. They get still breadcrumbing y'all with time. You think because he coming to your house late at night, spending time with you, smoking and drinking, you think he like you. You think because you was on a date with him for 4 hours, y'all went all up, you think he like you. Sis, the reason why y'all like the niggas because y'all giving them too much personal time. Time is a breadcrumb. You offer that up when your needs are met. He does something you need him to do, you give him 30 minutes today. He does something else, you give him an hour tomorrow. You never give him more than 2 hours because that's when y'all start liking these niggas. Sis, pull back on the time. You like him, he don't like you, and all claim from time, not actions. I'll see y'all soon, and make sure you subscribe for all exclusive videos. And y'all.
I got one thing to say, too. While she was talking, I went to China-T.com, and she's a best-selling author. It's Cheyenne Bryant all over again, man. It's Cheyenne Bryant all over again. Best-selling author according to who?
To ghetto misses. To ghetto misses, to chicks that smoke Black and Milds, that got an Uzi on their nightstand, that chew tobacco, and that walk around with strap-on dildos. Let me tell you something, right?
I can't.
If any man is attracted to anything about that, and listen, we are not just going to hyper focus on the fact that she's visually disadvantaged. We know that, she knows that, we understand that, because she could be beautiful on the inside, right? But the fact of you to get on here now, once again, not a man in sight, not a man. Listen, literally, not a man in sight. To get on here and you have 200,000 women at your disposal saying that you are the fuck nigga whisperer. Use a man. I mean, that's some light content. I didn't even have time to give you some of the heavy shit. That was as light as I could give it because it's somebody after her, and she's it's some. You have it. You don't wait till I. Veronica Ford, everybody. Thank you for coming to the chat. I wanted to get a young lady in
Hello
here.
there.
She's super amazing, singer, songwriter, model. She does it all. She just is fabulous in every way. And she's honest.
I
And that's what I
appreciate
like
that. I
about her.
appreciate that.
Matter of fact, you know what? We're going to get off Coach Auntie China, which Coach Auntie China is crazy. Well, at least she's not a doctor. But we are going to get onto this next lady. And I really want your honest opinion. And I want you guys to actually go deeper than the surface, right? Because there's such a bigger message here than what she's saying. And let me go ahead and play this. This one makes me lose sleep. When I seen her content, I lost sleep for about 2 nights in an outrage. And let's go ahead
Women, I'm
and
going to
go ahead.
hold your hand when I say this, okay? Black men don't like us. They don't like you. They don't like me. It's just what it is. And you have to accept the reality of that. And what you decide to do with that information is on you. Do you think that a man that liked you would see you working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, coming home working, taking care of kids, going to school, getting a degree, paying bills? They don't like us. They see us as workhorses, mules, the backbone. I don't want to be a man's backbone. I want to be his helpmate. I can't help you pay no bills. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing it. You think that he cares about you? He tolerates you. And the reason that he tolerates you is because what you can do for him, which is help him pay those bills. You're working 2 or 3 jobs and he's working 1. He don't like you. I know that they don't like me, which is why I open my options. But they don't like us. You need to get that through your head.
So I'm going to stop this for a second, right? And hold on, just everybody, just give me a second because I want to walk you guys somewhere. So, would you think that with the information that she's dispensing, she actually has a man? She actually has a man. I'll give her that. What type of man do you think she has? Do you think that she has a top tier, respectable man? Like, if you just had to guess, right? Like, what type of man do you think that a woman of that caliber, because she paints it as if she's the upper echelon of woman, what type of man do you think that she has? I'm gonna start with DJ Ham.
I think she has a man who obviously pays all the bills.
Okay.
I think he's probably older, right? Lack of
Mhm.
options. He now has access to women that are as pretty as she is because he has money. He knows it and she knows it, and they just there for that ride. I think there's no
Hmm.
love, right? If he died, she wouldn't give a fuck, and he's okay with
Hmm.
that. And he knowing that he's castrated, so he's probably a white man.
Okay, cool. Coach Ken, what type of man would you think compliments a woman of her stature?
Well, again, I'm in the profession, so a lot of this is just the grip. They saying things. So I would probably say, obviously I believe that she probably does have a guy that, that pays all the bills, that's probably glad to be with her. That
Uh-huh.
is glad to have a woman like her. Because aesthetically, she looks good. But I would think he probably, a simp type. That type of male, what I would think.
Okay, cool. Miss Veronica, how did you feel about what she said? And what type of man do you think would stand by this beautiful queen here?
Yeah, I would have to say he's definitely not giving leader. I feel like she may be wearing the
Mm.
pants. She may be wearing the pants. Let's say about 80% of the time. She running shit. She's running things. She got somebody that's gonna listen. She want what she want, and she found somebody that's gonna listen. I do feel like he could be a different
Mm.
race. I don't think it's a black man. If I had to say, I would say a different
Oh,
race.
snap. So you think that in order to get the man that she thinks she should be dating, that she has to step outside of her race?
I mean, for me as a black man, I
No,
don't think black
it's
men
just
going for
yes
that.
or
That's
no.
how I feel.
So you
Yes.
don't you don't have a high caliber black man going for her nonsense. I'm just curious.
I
Yes or
don't
no?
think so. No,
Oh,
no,
okay. Land
I
a
don't.
plane. Sight Kelly, because we got a doctor here. Hold up, B. We have a doctor in the building, and not a Dr. Bryant, but like a Dr. Kelly. What is your what is your assessment of what we've seen with this black beautiful woman?
I'm gonna say her dude has to be older. I agree with Hamp on that. I think that
Okay.
definitely a purse holder. He's the one that's following her around the perfume store, holding her bag. I think that he's yeah. I think that I'm gonna go a step further, Truth. I think he may be engulfed in religion without the knowledge thereof. So he feels that it's his duty to provide for her. Like I have to do everything for her because that's my responsibility. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think he is black though.
Okay. Hey DJ Ham, could we play the next video, please? I'll save my opinion. Let me get that up there. Let's get. Oh, I want to save it for a surprise. Let's get that up there if you don't mind, good
Hold on one
brother.
sec.
And
I had the other list.
take your time, no rush. It should be a second one there. There we go. Let's take a look at this black king she has.
This Duke right here. My fault.
Yes, please go ahead and let that rock.
I mean,
Let that
where
rock.
the fuck should I really even start? I got hoes that I'm keeping in the dark. I got my niggas across the street living large. Thinking back to the fact that they dead, thought my raps were the facts, so they sat with the bars. I mean, where the fuck should I really even start?
Let me cook for a second.
1 second. 1 second. Before you go, one second. I'm going to go because I just got to get this off my chest because I don't want any of y'all to miss the highlight of this. So what drew me to this woman's platform is because she was riding in the car with Tom and he was sucking her toes, right? And she's telling a story as she's getting her toes sucked about how she had once got pregnant by a black frog, which is her baby father, right? And she said, these are her words, these are not mine. She talked about how she got pregnant by a black frog and how she tells her black daughter that you can date outside of your race. And I encourage my daughter to step outside of her race because I would never want my daughter to get pregnant by a black frog, which her daughter would, it's the black frog's her father, right? So my discrepancy is, who do you think is her fan base? Because it damn sure isn't white women. You better know that, right? Especially top tier white women. They're not going for any of that, right? Because he's in that field, I'm in that field with some extremely rich white women. They're not resonating with any of that nonsense, right? But the major disservice that she is doing to our black women, to get up here, disrespect your black baby father to your daughter and say this black frog this black frog that, and that the place that you should be dating is rich, old, wrinkled white men. And nothing wrong with being rich, old, and white and wrinkled. There's nothing wrong with that. But to step on the back and the neck of your child's father, my fault. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna mute myself.
I think I'm at a loss right now. I'm shocked. I'm listening to y'all.
Yo, that man is terminally ill.
Terminally.
She's counting down his days.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Doc. Go ahead, Coach. Sorry, you want to say something? Sorry.
I'm gonna just come from a little psychology behind this. When I listened to her video, she was speaking from her trauma, the trauma that she's had with black men. Because the reason I know that is because, and Doc, I want you to think about what I'm saying here, because she said, I know they don't like me. Now, I want you to go back to the video. She says, I know they don't like me. So what she was doing was speaking from some type of projection of what happened to her in the past. Because she said, I know they don't like me. They don't like us. Any man, and then she started to justify why they don't like us. You working all of this, you're making them, and you come home with the kids. So what that told me was she had some prior experience where that particular trauma, that particular pain came forward. And now that she got somebody that accepted her, that allowed her to be something different than what she was in the prior relationship, it is okay to espouse what I'm saying. But if you know, the truth is she kept saying it. They don't like you. They don't like us. I know they don't like me. And so what I started doing was looking past what she was saying and looking to the heart of why she said it, because that came from a painful place.
So, Doc Kelly, I have a question, right? Because that's something I tend to push back on a little bit. When they're talking like this, it's always seemed to be put like something happened to them. I'm thinking a person who talking like this, doing this with this disposition, they happen to somebody.
Mhm.
So is it trauma? Can you traumatize yourself? I guess is my question.
Absolutely.
Okay, because
Absolutely. But I think that there is a almost like a cognitive confusion, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Where we believe that just because a person comes from a traumatic experience, that means that they're the victim.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to
Right.
mind
And
through. Yeah.
Coach Ken is 100% correct. I agree with everything he said, but I think that the way that we receive information makes us assume like, oh, well, because she is speaking from her trauma, that she's speaking as the victim. No, you can be speaking from your trauma as the abuser.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the equivalent of, I'm going to go back to that domestic violence example. It's the equivalent of, let's just assume that a man hits a woman, gets into another relationship, and tells that woman to watch her mouth. You know what I mean? In an aggressive tone, right? You're still the abuser, and you've been through a traumatic experience. You're just coming over into a different scene, and you're bringing that same level of trauma. So listening to her video and the way that she bashes the men of her own race lets me know that she for sure wasn't the victim in the previous situation. I think she was the frog that man accidentally slept with.
Yeah, I like that.
Veronica, please take the floor, and I'll land the plane, because then we'll get to my favorite content creator next. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I feel that there is some trauma there, but I just feel like somebody did. I feel like from my perspective on what I took from it, somebody did her wrong. She felt like somebody did her wrong, but she needs some counseling. Don't take that, And then she's trying to brainwash the rest of the Black women. Like, I ain't feeling that, I don't feel like she's the victim. I feel like she's been through some trauma, but definitely like she played a part in that. I definitely feel that she played a part in that.
Yeah. Definitely culpable. Yeah.
She wasn't a victim 100%. I think it was a little half and half.
I think that we gave her a lot of leadway aesthetically.
Yeah.
I think that we gave her a lot of grace as far as her aesthetics, because the first thing that stood out to me is in Black society, she's definitely below average. I definitely picked videos that would highlight her looking her best, but if you actually go down, she's a 4, 5-ish at best. Definitely not a woman that in a room you would like double take. If anything, in our community, it'd probably be a tap to go get a better looking woman, respectfully. And so what she did was, like most women do, African American women, when they cannot get top tier or high value men. And I don't want to get you canceled, coach. I'm trying to be really careful what I say. I notice, but they usually, and I'm from Philadelphia, they usually go get them a foreigner, typically an African back in the day before Africans got hip. I'm a little older. Or they go get them a white man, because they say, well, I can't get the Coach Kens of the world or the Psych Kellys of the world to acclimate for my BS, because they're handsome, they're established, and they're men. So what I'll do is I'll take my basketball over to the other side, because if I change the dating pool, that they'll see me as a prize where I'm not seen as a prize in my own community. When I seen her videos, I see hurt. And that was the biggest thing that hurt me. I know what it's like for a parent to, children are like sponges, right? And no matter how much you love your parents, you tend to want to believe in the parent that you're with for the majority of the time, right? And so it's one of those that even if her father is present, right? Even if her black father does love her more than anything in the world, the narrative is being pushed. And you're a psych, Kelly, brother Kelly. So you know how detrimental it is to the mind, right? For you to continuously pour and pour. Oh, your dad's a black frog. Your dad ain't shit. Because even if he isn't, my mother, the person that I look up to, my superhero, right? No matter what you show me, my superhero is telling me that my father is a black frog and that he's not shit and that this white man is my savior.
Right.
So when I'm watching the video, right, I was infuriated because I know what it's like to be a black man in society. I know what it's like to love my kid more than anything in the world. But you get these women that are broken. You get these women that are full of resentment and anger and toxicity. And instead of being an adult and saying, you know what? Forevers don't always last forever, unfortunately. And me and your father did not go in the direction that I would have liked us to go in. But he's a great dad and he's a great father. And even though he was not a great man, right? Because you could be a horrible husband, but a great father, your father loves you. Instead of pushing that narrative, not only is she causing division, and I'm not racist by any stretch of the imagination, but you are telling your black daughter that this white man is her savior. And for me, I'm a black man in America. I don't like that shit. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what y'all want. Y'all can say how y'all feel. I have a black daughter. I can't. I can't. I just can't. I cannot. And then her audience is women that look like you. So imagine if you're impressionable. Imagine if you're lost. Imagine if you feel like your baby father fell short because now she's teaching black women, right? Because she's doing reverse psychology, right? She's saying that we hate her, but she's pushing the narrative for y'all to hate us.
Yeah.
Because one black man did not give her a favorable outcome. So now it's, these black frogs and these black men hate me, but guess what? I am going to get the leg up on them because we don't have to date them. Fuck those niggas. Go get you a white man. This is what you're pushing to our black women. So you're impressionable. Are you? You know what? Let me not cook because I was ready to cook. I'm going to let her be great. Yeah, go ahead, Coach. I was
gonna say that you cooked some chicken. You did cook some chicken, though, and I agree with everything you said. And now you can't get me canceled. So
No,
at least I tell the truth. I ain't no doctor. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey, true. The diabolical thing is though, right? You give the man who is a frog allegedly your womb, and then separate yourself from all that action.
Wow.
Right?
I can even hear.
He put himself inside of you, regardless of contrary to popular belief. Sorry, Coach, I got to say this. There's a difference between giving dick and taking dick. So she did all that, gave him his womb. She got his oatmeal cream pie, and he's the frog. It's cognitive dissonance, right? It's conflicting, and they're not thinking through it thoroughly to admonish a man to that degree while giving him your womb.
And then
that's why I said it came from pain. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sai.
Even after she dogged the black man, she still didn't say that she was in love with the white man. She's basically teaching everybody how to be a professional trick. That's what you're doing. You're basically telling us that because he takes care of you and provides for you and doesn't make you work and do all of the other stuff that you mentioned, that everybody should go and run and look for somebody like that. That's called tricking.
Yeah, that's tricking. That is finest.
Yeah.
So you didn't even learn how to love yourself after this frog that you dated allegedly. You didn't even come back with some level of knowledge. You came back worse. Now you came back and you're going to give your daughter the example that she should go find a white man and trick on him. That's the example that you provided. That's a psychological massacre because that little baby or that girl or whoever she is going to grow up in a home full of hatred. Not understand her identity and believe that the greatest that she could do is hopefully give her coochie away to somebody that's going to not make her pay bills. Congratulations, you're raising a hoe. That's what you just did.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Changed the race of her pimp. Kudos to whatever her name was.
I just sent you this one video, and we could just watch this one of her. Go it's right at the bottom, and then we'll get to the other superstars. I believe it's the 3 tips on how to secure you a white man. I believe that is the there we go. Let's go ahead and cue the video. Wow,
I'm not a
crazy.
gatekeeper, so black women, I'm going to share 3 things with you that you need to know if you decide that you want to date a white man. Number 1, he's a white man. You're not going to stop being a white man. What does that mean? He may be out of touch with reality to your world, the things that you experience, your feelings and views about different things, because he's a white man. You can't want that without getting the other stuff. It don't work like that because he's a white man. He may have a problem taking accountability. Come on. Because he's a white man. Living in a white man world that he's been in for his entire life now. He hasn't had to take accountability. He may not even have had to apologize. He's a white man. Guess what? He can learn with the right teacher. If you are the type that says, this is why I don't want to date a white man, I don't want to educate him about my blackness, you know what? That's fine. But don't date one. He may, or more than likely, be uneducated in the dealings and affairs and adversities. Anybody that's non-white, he's a white man. It's not going to change, baby. Don't waste your time. Don't date one. Because really, if you think about it, anytime that you meet somebody new, you're constantly sending them data and information and educating them on how to treat you, how to interact with you, how to learn you, what you like, what you don't like.
I've had all I could take. Like I said, this and her audience is black women. She's teaching black women how to go out in society and snag a 75-year-old white man. That's it. I land my plane with her. And can we cue up the this one is one of my favorite, and I'm not gonna be long, but it's just I don't think you guys are seeing this. I want you to cue up the one where it says, "Stop letting niggas embarrass you." And y'all, my dick, boy, you good? Hey, bro, you're good. This I really want y'all to listen, because what she is saying is something that is being done so often and too often. This is why we have a lot of black men in prison. This is why we have a lot of black men behind bars, because of messages just like this one. Watch how distasteful this is.
Better stop letting these motherfucking niggas embarrass you and embarrass them back in the courtroom. Baby, they ask me all the time, how did you do it? I say strategy. Strategy. I'm always planning. I'm always planning for me.
Stop letting. I want to be clear, right? Just in case y'all didn't hear what was said. I want to be crystal clear with this. Y'all better stop letting these niggas embarrass y'all and start embarrassing them in the courtroom. How do I stay ahead of niggas? Because I'm always planning. I am going to embarrass them in the court. You know what? I'll let y'all know. My fault.
Hey, that's your favorite creator? That's your favorite right there?
That's my favorite one. She's top tier. Top tier.
She's quite entertaining, though.
Why I can't hear?
She's quite entertaining. I mean,
that's the thing. So she literally saying she plotting on you the entire relationship if you're dealing with her.
Oh my goodness!
Absolutely.
I have no words. I don't even, honestly, I don't even take that serious. I know it's serious. I do know it's serious because people are listening to it and people's lives are at stake here. But from my point of view, it is difficult for me to listen to people like that, Truth, just because it is antithetical to what I want to do in life. I'm bringing couples together, and so it's tough for me to listen to people like that. I hear them, but you know what do I say? The only thing I can say is this right here, is that some people, and I'm gonna say this with my whole chest, some people will rue the day that they've internalized these concepts. They will.
I think it's dangerous because everybody has what I like to call and what psychology calls a worldview, right? That's the lens that we look at the world through. Truth is going to look at the lens or the world through the lens of a coach, right? You're going to look at the world through the lens of a coach. Ham's going to look at the world through the lens of however he looks. Same thing for me, right? I think I'm more disturbed because individuals actually follow this, which makes me question, how do you view the world that this is entertaining or educational to you? I think it's dangerous because I think that it identifies the fact that we literally live within an ignorant community, right? Like, and people are actually entertained by something that does not financially or educationally empower them. She's telling you as a Black woman that not only is she plotting on you the whole time, but then she's going to use the very system that is systematically racist and prejudiced towards her to somehow get an upper hand on you.
See, that's the part, and we have too many stories in the extreme end, like Brian Banks as an example, right? Where the lady just said, "I just lied because talk to my moms. Let's just lie on them." These two boys that played at Ohio State, they were both getting on the field at Ohio State as freshmen and sophomores. That just tells you that those are NFL level talents. And the girl reneged after agreeing to have sex with them on camera, and they were later exonerated but lost their careers forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
You know, and it's Doc Kelly, one thing I try to parse through the nonsense in where we know, like my friend who's married, she had a rainy day fund that her husband didn't know about. So we know there are things like that exist, but she's saying criminality
She had a
is what
what?
she's lining people
She
up.
had a what?
Like a rainy day
A
fund, you know,
what
trying to
fund?
saving money. Yeah.
How is that in a marriage? How is that a rainy day fund? I
Diabolical.
don't know about.
Diabolical.
So people in the comments, and before everybody goes, they said that Truth Hurts has rage bait, and so I'm going to hold myself accountable. I can either send you the clip or I can say what I said, or how do you want it? You want me to just tell you what I said, or would you want me to send the clip?
Now let's get the live. Let's get the live.
Yeah. Now, send the clip, Truth. We gotta watch you too, man.
I'm gonna send the clip. They said that this was rage bait.
Gotta watch you, Truth.
I want to see the clip.
Man, he get
All
going.
right, they said that this is rage bait, and it got about 600,000 views.
Let me see the clip.
I stand on what I said. I meant what I said. And I'll put my doctor license on it if I have to. You can go ahead and pull that up. And I meant what I said. Y'all can let me have it. I stand on it, and I meant it. And I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Run it.
Have fat kids, that's a form of child abuse. So that's another thing that I want to talk about, right? Because you're in control of the portions, you're in control of what they eat, and I think that that's a lack of parenting, right? So I think that that's neglect, abandonment, and a form of child abuse, especially knowing what fat people go through all throughout life. But that was one of my downfalls. I think another one of my downfalls.
Let me have it, man. I think that having fat children is a form of child abuse, and I don't like it.
He said,
Yeah.
Go
ahead. Sorry, Coach.
No, I'm sorry. I want to say something that some people ain't gonna like. I was 430 pounds. When I was on the show, The Biggest Loser, they had a psychologist there. And one of the things that the psychologist asked me was, how did I get here? And when we uncovered the layers, what I found out was my mom used to say, eat everything on your plate, because she didn't have things, she didn't have stuff growing up. And so I began to get programmed that even if I was full, that it was I kept eating and eating and eating. And I said to the psychologist one day, I said, the truth is what my parents did, unbeknownst to them, actually hurt me. And so what I understand what you're saying, and I understand that you said, but what I am saying is here's where we differ. I believe it is wrong. Where we differ is intent. See, a lot of times when you don't know better to do better, you can't do better. And so the abuse comes when the intent, in my opinion, when the intent is to do something nefarious, or the intent is to, so if my parents, based on their trauma, my mom never had enough to eat. If her intent is, I'm going to make sure that my kid always has enough to eat, then her intent is to empower me, even though it hurt me. And that's just my take on it.
No.
So I think
I just sent Hamp a picture, right? Because I used to be 395, right? And it's so funny, right? And I'll show the picture. I'm big on receipts and all of that. I just sent it to his phone. I sent it to your phone actually.
Hold on.
But it's so crazy. I'm gonna show the picture and then I'll get into why I feel the way that I feel. And hopefully we could get it. Did you get it to your phone, Hank?
Yeah, hold on. Yep. I gotta download this shit.
Yeah, take your time. Take it slow, John Legend. Oh shit, I don't know what happened, but whatever. But anyway, so speaking on to that, the reason why I feel the way that I feel about it was because I actually had developed a nasty relationship with food as a young man because whenever I would go over my grandmother's house, I didn't know when I was going to eat again when I would go back home because my mother was a drug addict, right? And so I built this relationship with stuffing myself and stuffing myself and stuffing myself. Let me get this picture up here, right? So that was me as a, oh shit, it went away. Oh, hold on 1 second, y'all. What the fuck did I do? Hold on. Boom. Let me add. There we go. And so that was me. No neck, black neck, arms big as shit, big arms, my stomach huge, right? Young man, and literally one of those things where I didn't know when I was going to eat again. So when I would go over my grandmother's house, I would pardon me, when I would go to my grandmother's house, her cabinets was full. So I'm literally eating because I'm like, you know what? If I can make myself full enough that when I leave those days or those weeks that I got to go back home, I'll stay full. Right. So that developed a nasty habit of me like, well, I gotta overeat, I gotta overeat, I gotta overeat. And then eventually, right? No, I had got in tip-top shape. I had got the 185 all muscle and 12 pack and all of that. Don't get it fucked. But anyway, I say all of that to say I know what fat people go through. I was kind of blessed because I was witty, I was funny, I was a little aggressive. So I was kind of able to, wiggle through. But fatter people, and people are going to get mad at me, they have a major disadvantage. People don't even take fat people seriously. Like when you really get into certain rooms, because they're like, well, I want to listen to you, but you can't even get your diet in check. And this is for fat men and fat women. They are treated horribly. So me being a fat man once in my life, I would never want to do my children that disservice. And so when I had came home from prison, my son was chubby. And my wife was like, why are you so hard on him? I said, because I wish somebody was hard on me. Nobody told me work out. Nobody told me run up the steps. Yeah. Nobody told me, hey, put the hot fries down and explain to me why I should eat fruits. I should put the sodas down. Do you know what type of advantages you get when you walk in a room powerful and you chest it out? And, like you feel better as a man. So that is why I feel the way that I feel about it. And I will say this, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to let their kids overeat because they are overworked and they can't monitor it and they don't have enough money or time to prepare proper meals. So it's easy to give your kids it's easy to give your kids microwave dishes. It's easy to stuff them with processed foods because the worse the food is, the cheaper it is. And I'm just going to leave that where that's at.
I feel where you're coming from 100%. from your testimony, but and I agree with the, with the fatter kids and things like that. Like when I look at a fat person, I see no self control. You could see all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you coming from with that. I could see why you say it was abuse, coming from your backstory. So I feel what Coach Ken was saying, but I definitely agree with you because of how you came up. So it make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
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 Most
You know,
definitely.
when I'm hearing truth, I'm listening
Hey,
to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
somebody has a. Oh, go ahead. My fault. No, go ahead, bro. No, you go ahead.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we're gonna get to this question because it's a great question. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say quickly that, people will complain about the things that they created for themselves, right? Bullying is real. You can't get away from them like you used to. You go home, you go again the next
Mhm.
day. Now it's on social media and etc. And this is a large reason why kids are getting bullied, to this degree, right? And then the parents is upset, but what could you have done to mitigate those results for that kid? So it's very important. And Coach Ken, that resonated with me, in terms of the intent. However, I do believe that ignorance is no excuse. And when we project, we do oftentimes do people a disservice, because that's what my Dukes did, right? Out of love, purely. you know she projected her experience on you, and then the outcome was negative, even though her intent was positive. So just
Hazel,
unfortunate.
man, I agree with you just on that last part, because according to psychology, it states that anytime that you experience something traumatic, it changes the brain. And so listening to her and then listening to Coach, right, as they're talking, I resonate that as trauma. Not having
Okay.
enough food and then making sure that your kids have an oversupply is traumatic. That means that their brain changed and the way that they perceived and processed it was different. So I think that when Coach says something about intent, I 100% resonate with that. Like, intention was not to be abusive, but because of the natural changes of her brain due to her traumatic experience, she now projects something that's pure, but it's also harmful, right? So
Yeah.
when you say that, you know what I mean? When you say that there's no excuse for ignorance, I don't feel like there was a negative thought there that made her ignorant per se.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I
Trying to
see.
provide for her children to make sure they
Okay.
didn't have that experience.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. So
you know
the
what I mean?
last, eliminate that part, and the projection part is actual, right?
Yeah.
You know the pros and cons, and you making a decision based on your experience. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, a person
Yep.
won't know
Yep.
that they're wrong until somebody like you comes along and says you're harming him. Then I now relearn from my traumatic experience. And that's why therapy is so helpful,
Yeah.
because you come to a person or you go to a coach, right? And you say, so I got this messed up life. What do I do? And it shifts the way that they think. So I don't think that they were
Yeah.
deliberately trying to harm them. I think that they were trying to help them, but it was just harmful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I concede that point, the ignorance aspect, because that's kind of, yeah, I understand it thoroughly without being redundant. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Why can't black women keep a man? That's what the lady asked in the chat. And we got Coach Ken here, like I said, MTV, Tubi, everything under the sun. We're gonna start with you. Why can't black women, for some reason, why can't they keep a man?
Who we starting with?
Coach Ken?
Coach Ken.
Oh, okay, okay.
Coach Ken took a deep breath too.
So let me say this. I think the premise of the question is incorrect. It's not that people can't keep a man, because there are a lot of people. I think what the question should be is, why are there so many women who are not in happy, healthy relationships like they desire?
I like
Okay.
that.
And so some people, and let me say this, there are many people in a relationship that they are dissatisfied with. There are many people in a relationship that it is contrary to what they want. So let me start from that perspective. I think the first part is this: the most important relationship you will ever have is the relationship you have with yourself. Let me explain. Why is it that relationships are the only thing we think will work because we feel a certain way? Think about it. On your job, truth and anything you do, you get training, you get mentoring, you get coach. On your job, someone trains you how to be good at your job. Someone trained you how to be better at whatever you do at DJ Hamp, at site. Everybody trained you so you could be better. Why is it that relationships, we never get any training on conflict resolution? We never get any training on communication. We never get any training on love languages and how to dissect all of the things that go on with relationships, but yet we expect it to work just because we love you. That in itself does not make any sense. So I'll go back to her original question. I rephrased it? Why aren't people in a happy, healthy relationships? Number one, they've never been trained in how to be in a happy, healthy relationship. They don't know. And so the reason I've been so successful at restoring marriages is, number one, not because I'm married, but that helps. Because I almost filed for divorce 17 years ago. It wasn't my marriage, but I decided I was never trained to be in a marriage. I only communicated the way I saw my parents do it. The way in my family, everybody talk loud. Everybody talk over each other. In her family, when people talk loud, she shuts down. And that never. And because I understand how to communicate. That was the outcome.
Yes.
Because I didn't understand how to communicate with my wife, I couldn't be in a happy, healthy relationship. It wasn't until I learned how to be, how to do, how to be the person that could have the type of relationship that I wanted. And that's why I always tell people, listen, I can coach you on relationships because I've helped repair and restore so many of them. Not because I got 12 doctoral degrees behind my name, because I saved some marriages. And because I help people who go into divorce court, they said I'm not them. That's how I can help them. And I said, y'all, the first part is we don't know how to be the person who can have the relationship that we want.
Okay.
Indeed.
I didn't want to go that deep, y'all.
I like the answer, Veronica. It seemed like you had something you would like to say.
Yeah,
Veronica,
you
what would
gotta
you like
know
to
your,
say? It seemed like you.
most definitely you need to know yourself, right? But when you get in a relationship, you need to know who your person is. What are their non-negotiables? What are their weaknesses? Are they a big communicator? So just like you say, when you get a job and you get the training, you need that training for a relationship too. That's why I'm a big advocate for like counseling. You know what I'm saying? Like counseling, in my opinion, it should have started when we were kids. Because a lot of kids in school don't know how to handle their feelings or their emotions. Now you got these grown babies getting in relationships. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know how to express themselves. Therapy is very therapeutic and we need it, So you can't just get with somebody off of a feeling and expect for it to just be happy and healthy. You got to know how to communicate. That's the biggest thing in a relationship. If you don't have communication, that's going downhill. I don't see it going up nowhere. So that's just how I feel. Communication is key.
May I ask a question? May I ask a question, right, Veronica?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Veronica,
Yes, sir.
thank you for saying what you said, because when you said we don't know how to process our emotions, I'm doing a whole coaching with men, because think about men, the only emotion, y'all, we feel comfortable processing is anger. That's every other emotion, when we were little, what did they tell us? When you got hurt, when you wanted to express something, they say, suck it up. They said, don't be no little chump. They said, no, don't. And what little young men.
She can't hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I can't hear. I think every time truth leaves, I can't hear.
So
But I heard the beginning part though.
Can you hear it now?
I can hear now, yeah.
She might just not be able to hear Coach Ken specifically.
Yeah, he just went out, but I heard him every other time. He just went out as he was talking.
So I have a question, because you are a Black woman in America, right? I want to know, do you feel as if, why do you think that it seems as if high value Black men are passing over Black women? And do you think that Black men go out of their way to bash Black women? Because that's what it looks like on the internet. And I want to know how you feel about that.
High valued Black men They don't want to deal with the drama. Women can be very combative, very combative. Don't want to listen. You know, they want this build a bear man, but they haven't done the work for themselves. You know what I'm saying? It starts like again, you have to get the therapy for yourself first, most importantly. They don't want to deal with that. You know, high value black men, I feel like they've already been through their, you know, chaos. They done learned from a lot. They're more in the know. They're not at that level anymore. Why would you want to deal with that? Women want a leader, but they don't want the man to lead. They don't want to
Wow.
listen. They don't want to listen, you know, and how I was raised, and not even just how I was raised, like I need a leader. I know how to listen. If you leading me, baby, lead me. Just don't lead me astray. But I need a leader. And they don't know, they want them things, but they don't know what it takes to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and that'd be they
So I want
social
to
media.
piggyback off of
Uh-huh.
what you said, right?
Yeah.
Because there is this false narrative that black men hate black women, and I disagree. I agree with what you said. I think that these men are being exposed to difference, right? And so these
Uh-huh.
men are actually growing up, right? And they're outgrowing
Yeah.
their trauma, and they're
Yeah.
outgrowing their environment, and they're outgrowing poverty, and they're
Uh-huh.
outgrowing, like, you know, everything that they learned growing up. And so they're going to different levels, and they're getting in different rooms. And like Coach
That's
Kim
true.
said, you know, they're getting in rooms where they're realizing, whoa, women actually don't yell, and they actually are
Exactly.
combative. And when I tell them about my fears, when I tell them about the things that happened to me when I were younger, they're not weaponizing my trauma against me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a bitch ass nigga because I cry or
Right.
because I vent or because I'm vulnerable. Hold on.
Yeah.
And you mean to
Yeah.
actually tell me that if I tell my woman, when I bring her my dreams, because especially when you're an entrepreneur, your dreams are very fragile, right? Like these are
Yeah.
things that, like, if these are not molded or massaged properly,
Mhm.
oh man, it can be devastating to a man,
Yeah.
especially a dreamer, right? A visionary like myself,
Most
right? I
definitely.
had dreams. They laughed at me. I said I would be famous and rich. They laughed at me. They laughed. My girlfriend told me, nigga, shut up and come home and sell drugs. That's what you good at.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it,
Wow.
right? So I say that to say that I don't think that black men, and I don't use the term man loosely. I know what a
Yeah.
man is, not a male, but a man.
Most definitely.
I don't think that they bash black women. I think that these men have evolved, and they are
Yeah.
now holding black women accountable. They're letting them know the disrespect not tolerated. The take you as you are will not be tolerated. Me
Mhm.
providing and doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, but talk to like I'm a child. Because a lot of
Yeah.
black women come into it with like a motherly figure, right? Because a lot of y'all are
Yeah.
raising grown ass boys. You're not in relationships with men. And that is the
Mhm.
real reason why
That's
a
true.
lot of, unfortunately, why a lot of black women will never land a high value black man, because she cannot look at him for the man that he is.
That
She's still
he
looking at
is.
him as that black boy that she sees him as, or that nigga from around the way.
Mhm.
She can't understand that he doesn't want to be called T-Bone anymore. He actually wants to be called Thaddeus now, and he's
Yeah.
evolving and he's growing, but her respect and appreciation is not evolving and growing with him, right? And I'm
That's
going to
right.
land a plane with this. Kevin Gates was at a game, I guess, and this white lady was looking at LeBron with so much admiration. And I
Mhm.
remember, and I was mad because I don't like speaking on people's marriages, but I remember Kevin Gates said, "You see the way that white woman was looking at him? Like she was looking at him like he was just a black Zulu warrior king." He said, "I've never seen his wife look at him like that. Look how the admiration." Now, I will say this in the defense. That's just
Mhm.
LeBron to her. Act like they've been together for forever, however long. But it is a thing of, hey, like get that admiration back in your eye for your partner, because when you get to certain
Yeah.
levels, that appreciation is needed. That reassurance is needed. That I tell people, this is one of my favorite videos. I want what I want from who I want it from. So the whole world may think I'm great. That means nothing to me if my wife don't say, you that guy.
Exactly.
You're the
Yep.
best. I need it from you. And usually when we are not getting the things that we want from the people that we love, I don't care who you are, what you are going to go get what it is that you need. And my plane is landed.
That's right. Yep. Not only does a woman want to feel safe, but men want to feel safe too. They want to be able to open up and tell how they
Absolutely.
feel, and it should be a safe space. So I agree 1,000%.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the women don't understand that they're not the A side. For too long, too many people told them they were the A side. They're not. The B side has dope tracks on it too, but you listen to the A side first. There's order and structure and everything except for our relationship for some odd reason, and we are so disjointed because of that. Not to mention, we having sex before you make them a sandwich. What value can you possibly obtain and remain consistent in? But we do so many things backwards. We think that these things are okay when they're not. And we wonder why we can't maintain our relationships. So that's what I say.
I think y'all pretty much said everything, but just to kind of add on to that, I also think that the black man doesn't want to feel as if he's in competition for masculinity with his woman. I think that's the problem. If I'm in a relationship with you and I'm confused on which one of us is the man, I think that you're going to end up losing the real man, and that's just what it is. Like how many times are you going to cuss him out? How many times are you going to challenge him? How many times are you going to buck up against him? How many times are you going to insult him? Right? When a black man is with a black woman, we expect for that woman to embody everything as it pertains to femininity. And I think that there's a confusion because we now promote bad bees over authentic black women. And so I think that black women, right? I think that when the bad bee comes out, they think that that's feminine, and it's not. As a man is evolving, he don't want a black bee. You know what I'm saying? We want an authentic woman who embodies her femininity, kind of like Ham said, that side B.
That's right.
Really, really dope tracks over there. But you got to be able to know your power on that side and not compete with me.
I just want to say something right before we get out of here that Coach Ken had said that resonates with me, but it goes against every rule in modern society. And he said that his wife, right, because he didn't have the money, right, like things had went bad for him, and his wife, his partner, his life partner, she came and gave him her check, right? Now, if you go by Coach China or all of these other women who say you better not ever let a man know about your finances or be with a man when he's down and out. What's so funny about that is your wife did for you what my wife did for me. She gave me a safe space to fail. And that's something that I never had, right? I went to prison my whole life. And the reason why I went to prison for a majority of my life was because I would get out of prison. And because all of my family members for the majority were women, I always felt like I had to throw myself back into the thick of things because I was taught and conditioned since a 4-year-old little boy that I was the man of the family. Right. And I thought that I had no worth. I thought that I had no stock, right? Unless I could provide, unless I could find a way to make sure that everybody was good. And that meant by any means necessary. So even if I had to sacrifice myself, because I learned from Hamp as well, right? Hamp said, and I was pissed with him when he first said it because I was like, that's bullshit. It goes against everything that of my beliefs. But he said, happiness is not a qualification for a man in a relationship. He's in a relationship because of his duty and his obligation to his family. And I remember being pissed, like, no, like I want to be happy. And if I'm not happy, he said, you didn't sign up for happiness. If you can have it, cool. But you signed up to be a provider and a protector, and that is your duty to lock in and you tough it out. And the life coach in me, or the doctor in me. The doctor in me naturally wanted. My fault. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. But I say all of that to say, it's just so funny, right? Because all of these female life coaches that will tell you to abandon a man when he's at his lowest point, right? None of them have a man. Here it is. Your wife stood firm with you at your lowest point. My wife stood firm with me at my lowest point, and now they reap the benefits for a lifetime. So they had to suffer for a small amount of time. We both fell from glory for a pinch of time.
Yeah.
And they fought through that and got to the other side, green pastures, right? But these women are teaching you whenever he falls off, abandon him, abandon your duty, go get you a rich white man. And I just wanted to say that really resonated with me. For anybody that does not know, that is Coach Ken, man. He has a new series on Tube. You can tell him where to find everything. Go tap in. This is a great show.
So, man, thank you so much for having me. And I got you because we've been talking about it. I don't even want to spill it to your audience what you're gonna be doing with us.
I know. Chill. Don't tell them. Yeah, for sure.
I ain't gonna tell them. But we're gonna be doing some stuff together because I resonate with what you do. What I resonate more with is your authenticity. See, you ain't trying to be something you're not. And I appreciate him. I appreciate Doc, Veronica, y'all having me on the show. Look, man, at the end of the day, I know y'all want people to win. I want people to win too. And so I thank you. So if you want to follow the work I do, follow me at Coach Ken Canyon, KenCanion. I'm on all the platforms too, TikTok, YouTube, all of that too. So all I can say is, y'all, I'm just out here just trying.
And he on some major networks. He being modest. He's on major networks. You catch him on MTV. You can catch him on Tubi, NBC. He's being real modest right now. But go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
So I'm on a TV show. It's a hit TV show called Unfaithful Caught in the Act. It's on MTV. And Tony Roman is the host.
I can hear my brother kill Coach Ken.
She can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well. To
I can hear you.
V, watch the playback. He going through the spiel. We'll just send you the clip.
Cool.
I'm on MTV, Unfaithful Caught in the Act. I've been on there 4 seasons now, and God has blessed me. Hit TV show, and I have my own TV series on Tubi. We have 5 million. It's close to 5 million views. It's called Decisions Are Never Black and White. I had Truth to go watch it, and it's based on real cases that I've had as a coach. And so when you look at it, it's gonna trigger you. But we're working on season 2 right now. And
that nipple ring shit. That nipple ring took me the fuck out. Hey, yo.
I'm gonna go watch it now. I'm gonna go watch it now.
But like I said,
y'all go. It's on Prime and Tubi. Tubi is free. Prime is like $4.99. Watch it on Tubi. It's called Decisions Are Never Black and White. And I'd like to know what y'all would do in situations like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming up, man. I know we gonna work. We got some work we getting ready to do. I can't tell y'all what I'm about to pop. I want to tell them, but I can't tell them what I'm about to pop out and do.
Not tell them anything.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm excited. Also, though, before you go, next Saturday, if anybody is in Houston, Texas, you see the beautiful Veronica Ford. She will be on my show. She will be singing. She is going to come blow the house away. We will be live in Houston, Texas at Love. Is a vibe, is a brunch. Is at the doors open at 12 p.m. I'm also bringing one of the dopest poets I have ever heard in my life, and I write poetry. So for me to say that, he is amazing. In Houston, Texas. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee this Sunday, but I think the show is sold out already. I sell out shows. And with that being said, man, we got DJ Hant, we got Sight Kelly, man. Give everybody a follow. I appreciate you guys for coming up. Coach, I wait on you. I'm ready to get on. I'm in the mirror. Like, thank y'all, man. Did you want to say anything before y'all go, or I'm waiting on you? Y'all good? What's up? Talk to me.
Now, just real quick, man. I just want to, Coach, that thing you said about wifey when she printed the money out and put it on your desk. That was key. She made that. She got her check, went to the bank, printed the money, put it on the desk to let you know how real it was. And that brought up a story that I'm gonna go thank my wife about here once I get off here. When we moved to Texas, we got 6 kids, 2 sets of twins. The company that moved us here closed 2 weeks after moving us. We bought a house and everything. And I tell her, and she said, "Okay, how you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." But we always say that. And she say, "Okay, I'm gonna go finish making dinner." I'm like, "That's it?" She like, "I believe in you. Fuck, I care." And so, well, not fuck, I care. She don't talk like, but you know what I mean? Like, just to summarize it, like the confidence in you, like, yeah, you're right. Fuck that job. You know what I'm saying? And now I haven't worked for anybody else since that point, So, yeah, no. So I appreciate you saying that because I'm gonna make sure I say thank you again. Feel me?
Well, I gotta say something. I gotta say something before we go. My fault. So I don't even give this story, right? But this is how I got into social media, and I'm gonna make this really fast. I got my first job ever in life at 33 years old. First job ever in life at a battery factory. And I was working 16-hour shifts. And I needed something to get me through a 16-hour shift, which was my music. I'm throwing 100-pound batteries all night, acid all over me. If you ever work with batteries, it's crazy, right? But I'm excited because I'm working a job and I'm making an honest living. And so what happened was they changed the policy and said we couldn't listen to music anymore. So I tell my wife, I say, "Hey," she wasn't even my wife at the time. I says, "Hey, look, I'm not going to be able to call you tonight because we aren't allowed to have phones anymore." So she said, "You sound sad, right?" And I said, "Well, I am. I'm just trying to do my best, to be honest." And she said, "Well, what is it that you want to do?" And I said, "I really would like to try the social media thing." She said, "Well, look, walk out of your job." She said, "I'll give you a year. I'll give you a year. I'll give you 1 year." It just so happened I turned it around in 3 months. I didn't need the whole year, but I'm forever blessed. And she works for fun. Life is sweet. I'm super duper blessed. But she told me walk out of the job. I walked out of the job. I was personal training. I was selling clothes. I was taking care of my grandmother that had a stroke. On top of being a father, on top of probation, on top of that, but I was printing clothes and yeah, so I resonate with both of you guys when y'all hear that. And that's why when people ask me, they try to make it seem like marriage is outdated and they try to get me to speak badly, but I can't because I have a partner. I have a real live partner, and that partnership is the dopest thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I just wanted to say that.
It's good stuff.
I'm here for it. I love it. I love that.
Psych Kelly, before we go, so I thought Psych Kelly was a little guy, right? I thought that he was a little guy. And when he came to the show, he's like 6'9". Fucked me up. He got out the car. Yeah, he big as shit, Coach. Hey, Coach Ken.
I'm 6 feet,
Hey, listen. Hey, Coach Ken. Listen, let me tell you something.
I seen Truth in front of the hotel. I walk up on him. I'm like, "Truth, what's good, bro?" With my hand up. He swell all up on me like he was finna take off on me. I'm like,
I didn't know what this
"You
nigga was
invited
on.
me? What you doing?" He like
Because
I'm
in
like,
my
"Yeah."
mind, I'm
Oh,
thinking,
man.
in my mind, I'm thinking so when he get out, he got the fedora on, look like an NFL player. I'm like, who is this thing? And he walk up straight to me. I'm like, now hold up. Like, now I don't want to do this to you, but I will. And but yeah, so I just wanted to say that, man. I appreciate all of you guys, man, for coming up here. So you got a newborn, so I got to go tend to my baby. You guys have a great evening. Thank y'all so much for coming up. I appreciate you guys.
So nice to